I grew up surrounded by a gentle family and kind friends. It was a childhood in a typical household, not outstanding in academics, sports, or looks, but I always felt blessed with the relationships I had. Perhaps that's why I have a habit of trusting people too easily. Because of this, I've often been called naive or an oddball throughout my life. This story is about an episode with my naive self and a pitiable mother-in-law, Carol, who harassed me. My name is Rosie. I'm a 31-year-old sales associate. I just married Arnold last year, and we're still in the honeymoon phase. We often talk about wanting kids soon, but are enjoying our life as a couple. Arnold's parents live in their own house, about a 20-minute drive from our apartment. Once a month, Carol invites us over for dinner at their place. My friends worry. Isn't it hard going to your in-laws every month? Asking. But it's not a burden for me. Father-in-law Ethan is a great conversationalist, and Carol is kind. Carol prefers to cook alone, so I always get the guest treatment. It's easier than being at the apartment. I just laugh and chat with Ethan and Arnold while they drink, and the meal is served. Except for one thing. Ugh. Today, Arnold and I were invited over for dinner again by Carol. But as soon as I tasted the soup she made, I let out a groan. Ew. What's wrong, Rosie? Arnold looked at me puzzled. This soup tastes unique. Something I've never had at home. It's delicious, Carol. Really? Thanks. There's more if you want. Yes. I forced a smile for Carol. If I had another bowl, my blood pressure would skyrocket. That's how intense Carol's soup was. Glancing at Arnold and Ethan, I saw them peacefully enjoying their drink. Is this the taste of home here? I resigned myself to this situation and forced down the soup. It seems the in-laws like strong flavors. Carol's cooking is overly salty, like seawater, and her sweets are cloyingly sweet, like eating a lump of sugar. The first time I tried it, I almost burst out laughing, but the rest of the family ate it as usual, leaving me astonished. I couldn't bear to leave it, so I finished it. But it was too stimulating, and I felt sick. I'm worried about my in-laws' health, eating such intense flavors regularly. I've consulted with a nutritionist friend and gathered some materials. But I can't just tell Carol, your cooking is too intense. Please learn to moderate. There's no way I can say that. Back at the apartment, I stick to the recipes exactly. I always ask Arnold, is it delicious? Worried it's too bland. And every time, anything you make, Rosie, is delicious, he sweetly says. But I couldn't believe those were the heartfelt words of someone raised in a household with such intense flavors. Still, for Arnold's health, I continue to cook with regular recipes. There's another thing that worries me. It's about Carol serving old food. Sometimes she even offers spoiled fruit for dessert. I discreetly remove the inedible parts and eat what I can, but I'm constantly worried that my in-laws might get sick. Once, I was given cookies that were expired by 6 months. Fortunately, Arnold noticed and said, "Mom, these are past their expiration date." Carol just laughed it off, saying, "Oh dear, I'm so scatterbrained." I was relieved then, but when the same can of cookies appeared and a gift from her, next time we visited, I was horrified. I've seen this before, when my grandmother developed dementia. What to do? Carol is still in her 50s, too young for such forgetfulness. The overly strong seasoning in the in-laws' cooking, the possibility that Carol might be developing dementia. I want to discuss these with Arnold, but worry about shocking him. Then a small miracle happened in our lives. I became pregnant. Am I really going to be a dad? A boy or a girl, I wonder. Arnold caresses my belly every day. When should we tell our parents? It's better to wait until the pregnancy is stable. I think so. We've only just confirmed the heartbeat, but I'd like their help if something happens. So maybe after the 3-month checkup? Yeah, let's observe a bit longer. Oh, I can't wait to tell everyone. Mom will probably cry when she finds out about her first grandchild, right? Probably. Imagining Carol tearfully congratulating us warms my heart. Carol, caught up in the joy of the long-awaited pregnancy, I forgot about various things. Next weekend at the in-laws' dinner table, I realized the serious issue. Eating Carol's overly seasoned cooking might harm the baby. Books I read during pregnancy warn that high blood pressure and diabetes can affect pregnancy and childbirth. Even if I can handle expired food, it might harm my baby. The thought terrified me, and I could hardly eat. Rosie, you're not eating much. Didn't you like the food? Carol frowns, looking at my plate. No, it's not that. Rosie is tired and doesn't have much appetite. Arnold hurriedly covers for me, thinking it's morning sickness. Really, Rosie? Don't overdo it at work. Sorry, Ethan says kindly, but Carol's expression remains stern. I feel guilty for leaving food and lying. After dinner, Carol offers me a large brown cookie with coffee. Have something sweet at least. It'll surely refresh your tired body. Thank you. What a kind person. I intended to at least eat the cookie, but lately sweets make me nauseous. Arnold's light brown cookie was bite-sized. Making sure Carol in the kitchen can't hear, I whispered to Arnold. Can we swap cookies? Huh? Oh, sure. I peel off the wrapper from Arnold's cookie. The expiration date is tomorrow. I put it in my mouth and wash it down with coffee. This cookie is a bit hard. Arnold, breaking the larger cookie in half, looks puzzled. Just as he's about to eat it. No! Carol, returning from the kitchen, yells out. Startled, my heart leaps. Arnold freezes and Carol snatches the cookie from his hand. Why does Arnold have this cookie? I gave it to Rosie. It's fine. I'm eating it. It's not fine. It expired. What? A stunned silence follows Carol's outburst. Confused, I blurt out. That cookie was expired? I didn't notice any date on it. But my words hardly helped the situation. Rather, it only confirmed there was malice in Carol's actions. So, Mom, you were trying to make Rosie eat something expired without telling her? Arnold asked Carol, emotionlessly. When Arnold is quietly angry, it's even more frightening. Carol seemed to understand this and was frantically trying to cover it up. It's not like that. The expiration date passed, but it was a big, tasty thing that I wanted Rosie to eat. Then why did you freak out when I was about to eat it? You knew it was bad and still passed it to Rosie, right? Well, even I, usually oblivious, finally realized. Realizing it, I felt a chill run down my spine. So you mean to say, Carol, that you've been intentionally giving me old things and expired sweets? What? What do you mean, Carol? Ethan glared at her with an intense look. It wasn't on purpose, just some old stuff left over. Thought it'd be a waste not to have Rosie eat it. That's exactly what doing it on purpose means. There's no good reason to feed someone something too old for you to eat. But she's a wife, right? It's natural for a wife to eat old stuff. You're a wife too, but you've never been treated like that. Well, yes, but... Carol, panicking, slammed the table. Watching her, I felt my heart growing cold. The Carol I loved was nowhere to be seen. I was utterly disappointed, thinking it was all an illusion. The betrayal made her look not kind but hideous, frantically making excuses. That made me wonder about something else. Was all that also Carol's malice? Was the overly strong taste of the food also a form of harassment? What? Ethan and Arnold looked surprised. Oh! Carol's face said it all. Arnold grabbed a cup of soup in front of me. No, Arnold! Ignoring Carol's protest, Arnold tasted the soup and spat it out. And then I spat it out. Tastes like drain cleaner. Ethan, trying a bite of the food I hadn't touched, grimaced. Rosie, have you been finishing all this food every time? Yes, I thought this was the taste of this household. Ethan and Arnold ate it too. We had normal seasoning, Arnold explained. I see. So that's how it was. Arnold's shoulders dropped, looking drained. No way, this seasoning is messed up. Plus, you've been eating expired stuff. I thought maybe Carol was developing dementia. Carol's mouth twitched. To think she was not liked by her son's wife and considered a sympathetic old lady with early dementia? Poor woman. Rosie, you're kind. You endured thinking Mom had dementia. Arnold praised me with a gentle voice. In contrast, Mom? Exactly. Can't believe Carol would torment Rosie, who believed in her so much. Ethan and Arnold sighed. I never thought Carol was like that. I consulted with everyone, worried about her taste buds and health, thinking she might have early dementia at her age. Consulted with who? Carol's face went pale. She hadn't imagined her misdeeds were known to others. My parents, friends, colleagues, they were all kind and gave me various materials and pamphlets, see? I pulled out pamphlets from my bag, piling them up. My effort of carrying these around, intending to consult Ethan or Arnold, came to use in an unexpected way. Amazing. You were really worried about her. The men were spreading out the pamphlets, seemingly moved. Of course, Carol was furious. What a terrible wife! I'm not sick, you know. The terrible one is you, Mom. Unlike Rosie, who has a pure heart and was genuinely worried, right? Shut up, shut up. I never liked this wife from the start. It finally opened again. Carol finally snapped, pointing at me with a furious glare. My precious Arnold, taken by such a foolish woman. And she didn't even notice the harassment. She must be out of her mind. I wanted a more beautiful wife for him, with a good job, someone I could proudly show off. You're foolish to say such things about such a good daughter-in-law, Ethan retorted. Ethan, you're being deceived by this woman. What? A heated argument erupted between my in-laws right before me. I really was hated by Carol. Knowing it is one thing, but being verbally abused by someone you believed in still hurts. Feeling down, Arnold muttered beside me. Mom, why didn't you tell me this before we got married? Then I could have. Arnold? Carol looked at him with expectation. Right? Surely you're on my side, her eyes seemed to say. If I had known, I would have cut ties with Mom. Arnold! Ignoring Carol's despair, Arnold bowed to me. Rosie, I'm sorry. I didn't know and made you suffer. Arnold, I'm sorry too. I never realized Carol was just naturally mean. Mean? Carol's eyes twitched. She probably never expected to be called that by me, someone she looked down on. I married Rosie because she's so pure. Don't worry, we won't come here again. Wait, Arnold, you can't do this. The one who can't do this is you, Mom. Our child will never meet you. Child? No way. Carol's eyes shifted to my belly. Clever as always, Carol. But if she had realized my lack of appetite sooner, things might have been different. Too busy with her harassment. Let's go, Rosie. Yeah. Taking the hand Arnold offered, I slowly stood up. Wait, I'm sorry, Arnold. It was just a little whim. Carol, desperately clinging, was coldly dismissed by Arnold. You should be apologizing to someone. Carol glanced at me, her eyes filling with loathing. I had no desire for her apology, so I spoke first. Carol, you betrayed me. I can never trust you again. I won't let my precious child meet someone like that. Goodbye. No, no! Carol collapsed with a cry of agony. We left the in-laws' house, Ethan seeing us off, not looking back. We probably won't ever return. It's ironic, but had Carol cherished the daughter-in-law who adored her son, she could have enjoyed a peaceful grandmother life surrounded by grandchildren. Such a foolish woman. Later, I explained the situation to friends and parents who had given me pamphlets. They were either astounded I finally realized or relieved. It seems everyone but me had recognized the harassment, but they listened and prepared materials so they could testify when I finally noticed the harassment. Embarrassing and pathetic. Thanks to the plethora of materials everyone prepared, it was proven how genuinely concerned I was. It helped Arnold and Ethan fully support me. I truly am blessed with the people around me. A year later, I'm busy every day caring for my son Dylan. Today, we're having a home party as a baby shower, and I'm preparing food. Arnold is showing off his wonderful dad skills, playing with Dylan and changing diapers. Then my mobile phone rang with a call from Ethan, who's invited to the baby shower. Assuming he had a question, I answered without hesitation. Hello, Rosie? The voice, trying to sound cheerful, was obviously not Ethan's. I recognized it, even after a year. It was Carol. After declaring estrangement, we moved away from the in-laws' house, sharing our new address only with Ethan. I blocked Carol's phone number, and even had her delete mine from her mobile. Thanks to Arnold and Ethan acting as barriers, we enjoyed truly peaceful days without Carol barging into the hospital during childbirth. Is she trying to ruin that now? Just knowing Carol is on the other end of the phone makes my skin crawl. Ethan's in the restroom right now. It's Dylan's baby shower today, isn't it? Carol must have guessed, not from Ethan, but from the atmosphere of the celebration preparations. Arnold, recognizing the tension in my voice, gestures to take over the call. But I signaled to continue. I'm a mom now. No longer the naive and sweet wife. Rosie, listen. I really feel bad about what I did. It was crazy of me to be so mean. I've been reflecting a lot. So, could I see Dylan soon? I've bought lots of cute clothes and toys for him, please. I wouldn't want toys with needles or bugs in them, so no thanks. What? I wouldn't do something so horrible. But you made me eat such things. That's an exaggeration. It wasn't that bad, right? Salt, sugar, even mold in excess can seriously harm you. I really am sorry. Kind Rosie, you would understand, right? Yes, people often say I'm kind. See? But it's not about being kind. I was just naive and trusted people too much. Once betrayed, I can't trust again. What? So, I'll never trust or forgive you, Carol. I'll never let my precious Dylan meet you. Wait, Rosie. Hey, what are you doing? Ethan? From the other end, I hear Ethan's angry voice and Carol's scream. I quietly press the end call button. I'm sorry, but you've become strong, Rosie. Arnold sighs in relief, resting his hand on my shoulder. Of course, I'm his mom, I say, lifting Dylan from his crib and nuzzling his cheek. His small, soft body, his mouth smelling faintly of milk, his clear eyes reflecting me. Just his presence overflows me with maternal love. I can do anything to protect him. The naive wife is a thing of the past. Something smells good. Maybe the chicken in the oven is almost done. Can't wait. Ah! Dylan, oblivious to everything, happily responds, and we both smile. Being unaware of people's malice was easy and happy. But that was because others protected me. Now it's my turn to protect my family. Determined to become even stronger, I hope for these peaceful days to continue forever.